brings a conservative point of view to black issues. His mission: to provide a forum for honest discussions about social issues without the liberal lapdogs shutting down the discussion. Broadcasting from the American Truth Project studios in beautiful Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. This is Conservative Nation with your host, Jermaine Butzio.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Conservative Nation with me, your gracious host, Jermaine Butzio. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Monday evening? Let me tell you something. Here in Minneapolis, it is snow flurries and it's cold. I thought we were done with the winter, but apparently not. How's everybody doing out there? How is everybody doing? Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We got a lot to discuss today. We have a lot to discuss. And as you guys know, let me tell you something. I've been gone. I've been on hiatus for a bit. Yeah. I was supposed to be back in the studio on Friday evening. I had went out. Actually, I went to a job interview in another state. My flight got delayed. So I ended up missing, the time I was supposed to come back. By the time I got back here, it was too late to do a show. And Easter came up. I spoke to Anthony Allen. Anthony Allen needed a break. So, we called off yesterday's show. So I want to let folks know that Anthony Allen, he's been on every gosh darn Sunday for the past 4 or 5 months. So he took a good deserved break on Passover. Some folks call it Easter. Absolutely. So I did as well. I spent time with the family. And I'm back here again with you guys. Absolutely. Hopefully your Passover or Easter went well. Yeah, you got a chance to think about everything in your life. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the gray's coming back. Yeah, the cotton won't leave me alone. I don't know what's going on. They say it's a symptom of getting old. Somebody told me it's a symptom of getting wise, but gosh darn, I still think I'm dumb as rocks. Hey, Yeah. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'm ready to rock. Yeah, I'm ready to rumble. You know it. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. As you guys know, the haters don't like us. They don't like me. They don't like you. And it's for a reason. I want to let you know it's for a reason. It's because me and you aren't boo-boo the fool, right? We're not boo-boo the fool. We're not boo-boo the fool. We're not people who get easily swindled by emotion, right? Like I would say 80% of the population right now. We like to use our brains. We like to use something called logic and common sense. Ain't that crazy? Yet we like to use it. And apparently nowadays, when you use logic and common sense, the folks who are emotionally centered, the folks who think through emotion. They don't like us. Yeah, haven't you found that out? You use common sense and emotion, and most of the folks in the world don't like you. If you were dumb and retarded, they'll like you. I'm telling y'all, you use common sense and logic, you're an enemy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You're in the right place. Absolutely. You've joined a nice club of people who like to keep it real. Who like to keep it real, right? Yeah, you see how all the fakers out there like to say they keep it real? And then once you keep it real, they don't like you anymore? Yeah, well, we don't do that over here. We like to keep it real. So you in the right place, let me tell you. You definitely are. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share. Let's get started. First one up, ladies and gentlemen. First one up and share. Don't be a stranger. Don't treat me like your baby mama. Don't treat me like your ex-husband. The one that you hate, who ain't that good, and you know what? You know what I'm talking about. Don't treat me like him. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. First one up, I want to speak about Kim Kardashian. Viral clip going crazy. Clip is going crazy, let me tell you. It's about Kim Kardashian's 6-year-old son who sees a pop-up. This is crazy. A pop-up of his mom's sex tape on Roblox. Now, Roblox is a game. It's an online game. Graphics are horrible as shit. I ain't lying. They worse than Nintendo graphics. Well, you know, the kids like them. You know, they're basically figures that look like blocks. Yeah, block figures. And in the game, it's kind of like Minecraft. You could create whatever game you want. There's thousands of games, tag, all sorts of dumb games that are in there that the kids play. And apparently, Kim Kardashian's, 6-year-old son was playing one of these games, went into a room, and since he can't read very well, he didn't know that somebody was in there advertising mom's sex tape. Now, I want to go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to speak about this. Does whoredom pay? I just want to know, does whoredom pay? Because Kim Kardashian, she whored her way all the way around, made millions of dollars off a sex tape, and then doesn't want her children or anybody to speak about it. It's kind of weird. How can you get rich off whoredom and then tell everybody to be quiet? Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Let's take a look at this when it come back. I want to speak about this. Because in this new day and age, we got thousands, millions upon millions of parents that are on TikTok. They're doing what they call OnlyFans, right? Spreading their ass cheeks and all that. And now you're starting to see getting famous off of doing stuff like this. At the end, it kind of bites you. Don't you think? Take a look.
Look at this is on Roblox.
What? Who made that? Let me see. Click on it. Ah! Oh, hold on. Chloe, look at this. What? Let me see.
I can put a pillow in the chair.
Chloe, come here. I feel like you're the only one that would understand.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm not sure what this means. This is a character on Roblox, what it says. What? I know, that's why I said. No, it was an inappropriate thing that popped up on his Roblox about me.
Say it was on Roblox yesterday. And a thing popped up and he started laughing and I was like, Mommy, look, and it was a picture of my cry face. And it was a game that someone made of Roblox. And it said Kim's new sex tape when you clicked on it. Thank God he can't read yet.
Man, oh man, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? What do you think? I mean, ain't that crazy? Think about it. Ain't that crazy? You got rich and famous because you hopped on some, let me tell you, rich pogo stick. Just in case there's, some young ears around. She got rich of jumping up and down like a kangaroo on a pogo stick. Actually, her mom monetized the gosh darn video. Right? Raking in millions. Nobody knew who you were. And now you got the nerve to sit here and get mad and cry. Why don't you cry and give away the millions you made? I want to play it again. We got some more, folks. Kim Kardashian crying because whoredom caught up to her. Hit that like button. Make sure you share.
Look at this is on Roblox.
What? Who made that? Let me see. Click on it. Ah! Oh, hold on. Chloe, you look at this. What? Let me see.
I can put a pillow in the chair.
Chloe, come here. I feel like you're the only one that would understand.
Okay, I'm coming.
I'm not sure what this means. This is a character on Roblox, but it says... What? I know, that's why I said. No, it was an inappropriate thing that popped up on his Roblox about me.
Say it was on Roblox yesterday. And a thing popped up and he started laughing and I was like, Mommy, look, and it was a picture of my cry face. And it was a game that someone made of Roblox. And it said Kim's new sex tape when you clicked on it. Thank God he can't read yet.
You can't make this stuff up. You can't. Matthew Steinacker says, is she the one with the fat ass? Yup. Apparently all of them got fat asses. Don't you know the thing to do is to go get a BBL, Brazilian butt lift. That's what all these girls are getting nowadays, thanks to Kim Kardashian. And you've been seeing a lot of lumpy butts. If you step outside, the females that follow Kim Kardashian getting these BBLs, their butts look like the moon crater. It looked like, let me tell you, some bad built rocks that were just, I'm telling you, it looked bad. It looked really bad. I blame Kim Kardashian and these folks. Absolutely. You see, whoredom catches up with you, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it, right? Absolutely. She's over here crying. Now, right now, apparently, Ray J, the person who put out the first sex tape with her, he has an additional sex tape, apparently. And this sex tape is apparently released somewhere. Somebody got their hands on it. He claims that he didn't do anything. Wink, wink, right? I don't know what happened, right? This is what he's saying. And this sex tape is out now. So she's gearing up with lawyers to try to get and prosecute anybody. She's trying to find whoever got the tape. She wants them hung. And the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, this to me is a perfect example of the reason why, in a sense, you have to do things correctly. She wanted fame and fortune. And she had to do something nefarious for fame and fortune. She went, had to put out a sex tape. And to tell you the truth, Ray J says that her and him plan on putting this sex tape out. If you go in some of his interviews, he says it clearly. So she right now is in regret mode. She's upset. She's angry that her children now, because she did this, she didn't give a rip about what her children would think. She didn't at all. And now she has children. And now the children got to know why their mama is so famous. She ain't famous because she looked good. There's millions of women out there who look better than Kim Kardashian. She is famous because she had a famous sex tape with a famous black singer by the name of Ray J. Point blank period. That's where her fame and fortune came from. And the mama went to Satan and they capitalized on it. And based upon her sex tape, famous men seeing that sex tape and saying, she did all those tricks with Ray J. Look at that. Look at all them tricks she did. I want to go out with a Kim Kardashian. I wonder if she can do the same tricks for me. I got a little bit more change than Ray J. Let's see if she can do something strange for a piece of change. Yeah. That's exactly how she got famous. And I want the women to understand. Some women out there say, oh, ill, Jermaine, and this and that. I want you to understand. With the guys seeing her getting beat down like that on the sex tape, they still want to go ahead and have sex with her. That's how crazy guys are, ladies and gentlemen. That's how crazy they are. So I want folks to know that's exactly why you have to make sure you do things correctly. And on the end note here, the men who have gone out with Kim Kardashian have always faced a curse. Something in their life has always gone wrong. They've either ended up in jail, financially bankrupt, gosh darn it, all sorts of stuff, drugs. Let me tell you something. Something will happen to you and it ain't going to be good dealing with those type of women. I believe they're witches in my opinion, but what can I say? Yeah, and I need to speak about the simp factor here. So Kim Kardashian, famous whore. Kanye West is suffering the same fate as a Will Smith. And this happens when you date a whore. And I want the gentlemen to understand. That's why I want the women to start pointing out the whores so that, they put on notice. When men wife up a whore, you become the laughing stock of the town wherever you go. And I want the men to understand that. This is a very important message here. This is the double standard that women hate, right? Just like women have double standards that, how can I say, benefit them, right? A double standard that benefits women, that women take advantage of. Plenty of them. Well, this is the double standard that men have, that women wish they could have, where they can go out and sleep with as many women as they want and come back and not be seen as a slut, as a quote unquote whore, right? Because these things are ingrained in males, right? When women do the same thing, they want to be players, they want to go have sex indiscriminately with many men. They become labeled as whores. And when you become labeled as a whore, and I want women to understand this, because there's a whole bunch of them who are engaging in whore culture, who are having bastard children and no man around. And they're wondering why guys are pumping, dumping, and leaving. I want to let you know, being a whore may suit you in the immediate, right? Because guys want to take you out, right? They want to pay for this and that, just for, the short time, just so that they can get your cookies and dump you, right? I want the women to understand where I'm going with this. When you're labeled as a whore, good men will stay clear of you. The guys who will go out with you, and I want the guys to understand, when they go out with you, those guys are ridiculed. Yes, they are. Everywhere they go, there's a guy somewhere who's either slept with the girl he's with or knows somebody who slept with the girl he's with. And guys know what I'm talking about. If you dated a whore out there, and I know some of these guys out here who've dated whores and they didn't even know she was a whore, right? She was a promiscuous woman. You didn't even know she was a promiscuous woman when you dated her. Everywhere you went, guys are looking at her, right? Giving her a wink and stuff like that. You don't even know what's going on. I want the guys to understand that it's not a good look for you. You'll end up being upset. You end up being insecure. You end up losing the relationship because it's not built for that type of ordeal. I want the guys to understand that. And guys know what I'm talking about. Guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, I used to hit that back in 72, man. Golly, look at her. Absolutely. I want the guys to understand that. So if you date a whore, you date a promiscuous woman, don't be mad and upset at the other guys. When you're walking and holding her hand and kissing her, and the other guys are pointing and laughing. Because that is what's reality. That is reality. And I want the women to understand, you engage in this type of behavior like Kim Kardashian, hopping pogo stick to pogo stick, getting famous for having sex with rich men. Don't be upset when things of this nature come out. So I just had to put it out there because we have a lot of females in this whore culture, and they don't understand the reason why so many guys want to be with them and this. They just want your cookies. Being a whore is like having a sign that says free coochie. I'm letting the women know. Just because a guy want to have sex with you don't mean that you're somehow fabulous. Think about it. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to somebody who just donated. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl, Melinda Peace. Shout out to Melinda Peace. Donated, took our challenge. Let me go ahead and give you the customary shout out to you. Absolutely. Shout out to you. Took our $5 challenge on PayPal. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I would like to speak about a video of what they're saying. Of what they're saying is a Las Vegas conservative political fundraiser. Apparently, there were some people in this fundraising crowd, and they said they witnessed what they call racism from the conservative group. I want to go ahead and run this news story. And when it come back, I want to speak about it. Apparently, this Las Vegas conservative group is getting a lot of attention right now. And a lot of people are speaking about this. Maybe you know what I'm speaking about. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Here we go.
Outrage this evening after racist images and comments made at a conservative political event. This is video from a CCW event held at a local library on Sunday. In attendance, several Nevada Republicans running for office. Now, we do want to warn you, the following clips are offensive.
Firearm safety is no joke. Always wear a wife beater on the range. And always make sure there are no minorities in your backdrop. Always shoot the gun right side up. Always lick the chicken grease off your fingers before shooting. Always make sure there's a white person around so you have someone to blame for everything that goes wrong in your life. And always aim for small children to ensure you actually hit another gang member.
The I-Team reaching out to the candidates who attended the event, including North Las Vegas Mayor John Lee and Assemblyman Tom Roberts. Roberts, who was running for Clark County Sheriff,
on, man, that was funny.
At the event, but was not present during that portion. He also says that is something he wouldn't use nor condone. Lee is running for governor. So far, we've received no response at this time. The I-Team also reaching out to the instructor. He sent us this statement: due to time constraints at the event, I sincerely regret I wasn't able to poke fun at more of my friends.
Shout out to that instructor there. Man, oh, man. Man, oh, man. So he was over there, you know, the instructor was pointing out some fun over here. Come on. This is hilarious. You mean, how is this racist? Okay, well, okay, I understand the chicken grease. Gosh darn it. Maybe you should have added the chicken grease here. You know, the chicken grease, I think, is what did it. You get what I'm saying? Had he have not added the chicken grease, he could have maybe got away. Soon as that they read the chicken grease, it was over. But, ladies and gentlemen, is this racist? Right? Is it racist? I can tell you it may be in poor taste for some folks. Yeah, it may be in poor taste. But is it racist? I don't think so. The guy who is giving this presentation is an Indian, right? Nefi Kaliki, maybe some sort of Indian. Nefi Kaliki, maybe Middle Eastern. Somewhere in that region, we'll say. So he's not white. You have black Americans in the crowd here. Here's a black woman right here, right? Here's some of that black right here. Here's a black male back here. So is it innocent? And here's another black woman. Is it racist? No, I don't think it's racist at all. I think it's funny. I think it is funny. And the reason why I'm saying this is because he was showing how not to shoot. Okay? And if you're a lecturer, you're a person who is trying to keep people, you know, focused on the things that you're doing, you're going to throw up things, you know, of this nature. You're going to, not of this sort of nature, but you're going to throw up things that will, get people thinking. And I don't think that that's a wrong thing for him to do. Black Americans, there's a whole bunch of folks out there who don't know how to shoot correctly. He's showing the average thug. The average thug out there loves chicken, right? Have you been to a jail? When's the last time you spoken to some inmates? Let me tell you, number one food they love is chicken. Fried chicken. How many of y'all sat down and spoke to Pookie and Ray Ray, some black thugs on the street? They love chicken. How about the way they shoot? Shooting sideways like this didn't come out of nowhere. White people didn't make this stuff up. It came from black thugs in the street. You can see video upon videos of black thugs going like this, covering their eyes while they're shooting. I want people to understand this is how retarded they are. Going like this and then shooting. So he's not wrong at all. And the thugs never shoot each other. They're always missing, and who do they hit? They hit children. He ain't lying. He's not at all. If he put, Mahmoud and them on there, Mahmoud, Taliban fighter, the Taliban fighters know how to shoot correctly. They know how to shoot straight. That wouldn't be funny. Taliban fighters are more gun conscious and more trained than the thug. What? A redneck? Rednecks know how to shoot straight. Most of the time, rednecks know how to aim properly, know how to use their gun efficiently. So if you're trying to show an example of a person who does not know how to shoot correctly, the perfect example is a thug. And it would be a black thug, because you don't see many white thugs out there shooting. You don't. Sorry, Blackie. I know it hurt you, Black, out there. I can't believe Jermaine said that. Yeah, you don't see many white thugs out there like that. Right? You'll see white folks in corporate crimes, though. You better believe it's stealing money out of your pension, right? Setting up clinics and stealing money from insurance. Those are white folks' crimes. Yeah. They'll do that for years and not get caught. Don't get mad at me. I'm just telling you culturally what the crimes are. Black folks are more into violent crimes. They're into strong arm robberies. The white man's into, soft robberies. A white man will come and he's the type to go to a Ace Hardware and do something. Watch me get it. Jermaine, I can't believe you said that. I remember back in 72, we went to Avis Car Rental, and they had a 69 Chevelle over there. And, we went over there and switched the engines. Shout out to my pop. Hit that like button. Make sure you share. I don't think this is racist at all. It's not. Anytime somebody is trying to, make light of something, make a joke for some reason, you got idiots out there that believe everything is racist. When they're speaking and making fun of white Americans, you don't see them saying it's racist. It's almost as if they wait for a non-black person to say something, and then they make a big stink about it. If you say something that black Americans don't like, or a white person who has a stick up their butt that they don't like, let me tell you something. They coming after you. They certainly are. So I'm just pointing it out there. Absolutely. Jerry Moore said, WT, I knew there was going to be a white person out of control. Anyone is capable of fraud. Of course they are. Of course, anybody is capable of fraud. I want you to go and look at the FBI statistics when it comes down to embezzlement, when it comes down to certain fraud, right? Criminality, and break it down by race. That's why I do this show, because the things that I say, I want folks to understand. I don't just say things that come out my butt. I know sometimes you think it, right? Because the way I frame things. I know. You're like, man, he just pulled that out of his butt. I know, right? But what I want you to do, you go to the FBI crime statistics and you go search by race, because you can do that. And you go look at the types of crimes. And you'll be shocked to see the types of crimes and how they're outlined by race. And the biggest fraud is coming from Caucasians. I don't make this stuff up. Caucasians are more into embezzlement. They're more caught, apparently, right? Maybe it's racist. They're looking for white folks who are doing this. Maybe, right? Just like the black folks who are crying about racism too. I don't know. But I'm letting you know. White folks are more into, right? Caucasians are more into embezzlement, fraud, these type of things, white collar crimes. Let me say that, all right? And blacks are into more violent crimes. Yes. So if you don't believe me, you go ahead and say, Jermaine, I challenge you. I challenge your big lips and big nose. And you go ahead and you go look it up and you come back and you bring me your statistics. You bring me your analysis and we can go through it. All right? So that's what it is. That's what it is. I don't think this is racist at all. They're making a big stink over nothing. Over nothing. You got blacks in the crowd. You got minorities in the crowd. Even the guy who gave the presentation is a minority. These people can kick rocks. They definitely can kick rocks. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do. Sure. Yeah, Jermaine, that's racist. I know, right? I know. See, when I bring stuff up like that, I want folks to use common sense. That's it. I know it's gonna piss somebody off when I said that. White folks are more into fraud and embezzlement. I know somebody out there saying, I can't believe he would make a statement like that. And then when I back it up, they're like, gosh darn it, I hate him. Absolutely. Just like the blacks, when I say blacks are more into strong arm robberies. They're more into drug crimes. Absolutely. You can't make this stuff up. It's facts. And when you look at what's going on out there, you can see what they're being arrested for. I mean, it makes sense. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to show you guys another, what they call racist tale here in America. Apparently, these stories are popping up through the roof. A Woodhaven family is outraged over what they call a racist display that was put outside of a police station. I want to go ahead and run this story. When I come back, I want to speak about this. There's so many stories like this. What is their agenda? Here we go.
A family outraged over a display outside of a Downriver Police Department.
It featured a Confederate flag and signs that read "Black Lives Don't Matter." Someone put them up on the lawn of the Woodhaven Police Department this morning. Victor Williams live in Woodhaven for us tonight. Victor, the signs are gone, but the hurt is still there.
Yes, Sandra and Pamela, all the signs are gone, but the after effects can still be felt, especially on social media. We're told by police that this was all the result of a protest that happened right here in this very spot. But one woman is saying that her entire family is now offended.
It's a little nerve-wracking to know that my kids have to grow up in a society where it's still real.
Candace Randall was going for a ride into Woodhaven for some last-minute Easter shopping when she caught an unexpected glimpse of large signs displaying racial undertones posted right in front of the city's police department.
Racial undertones.
Black lives don't matter and white crime pays are just some of the phrases that could be seen alongside a Confederate flag Sunday morning.
I went to Tim Hortons today before going to Walmart, and after leaving Tim Hortons, it was right there in front of the police station. Tim Hortons is right next door.
Candace's husband, Jared, is African American. The couple has 2 young children together, ages 2 and 3.
Having 2 mixed children makes it a bit hard to even go to work.
This Negro look mixed too. I'm tired of mixed folks saying that they're mixed. They're black. Y'all are mixed. If y'all black, what am I?
Still at this point,
gosh darn crocodile.
Close to norms in a way. Like when she called me in the morning. After she saw it, she was like, what do I do?
Ironically, both realize there's nothing that truly can be done about whoever decided to post the rhetoric.
It's freedom of speech, but yeah, it's kind of unacceptable at the same time. You really can't do anything about it, but other than to speak out.
And that's exactly what Candace did, snapping the pictures and posting them to social media. So far, her post has gathered over 700 shares.
I know that nothing can really be done. I mean, like I said, it's freedom of speech.
Yeah, so stop complaining.
Opinion. I just want people to be more aware about it. It is still out there, and it will be.
And we are awaiting comment from the Woodhaven police chief first thing tomorrow morning when he does return to work. As far as Candace and Jared are concerned, they just want the person who's responsible to take a good hard look in the mirror. In Woodhaven, Victor Williams.
Bow. Take a good hard look in the mirror. Ladies and gentlemen, if these quote unquote people are black, what am I? I just want to ask a very simple question. I know I'm gonna piss off somebody out there, and I'm okay with it. I don't care. I really don't. If these folks are black, I want people to use common sense. Right? You see how black I am. I'm dark like the tires on my wife's car. I'm black like the seat that's behind me. I'm black like this big-ass microphone that I'm yelling into. I'm bliggity black. Hold on. I'm black. I'm black. If these folks are considered black, this guy who looks dumb as rocks with some big-ass glasses and his 2 beautiful children. If these folks are black, what the hell am I? Am I a crocodile? I want to know. I want to know, ladies and gentlemen. If these folks are black, what the hell am I? That's it. I'm just asking a question. Exactly, because these folks ain't black. They're not black. And that's why folks need to get the hell out of this racial identity crap. Long time ago, during quote unquote the racist era that people always claim is there was a 1-drop Negro rule. Apparently, if you had 1 drop of Negro blood, some white man out there made it. I don't know who this white man is. He need an ass whooping. But apparently, this white man out there and the Democrats said that one drop of Negro blood make you a Negro, make you black. That's a damn lie. So you got anybody who is mixed, anybody who got 0.25% of something, trying to make sure that they're claiming black. It's BS. And what it does, ladies and gentlemen, it diminishes people like myself's voice when I speak about black folks. I want you to understand. That's why I say black people have a dumpster race. They accept anything as black. That's why I say black folks are the dumpster race. You could be black and Chinese. Some idiot out there will call you black. You could be black and Siberian. Somebody out there will call you black. You could be black and kitty cat. And somebody out there will call you black. You're retarded. You are. They are mixed. They don't even have black folks features. And then somebody's saying that they're black. You got to be retarded. I get sick and tired of that. That person down black, they're mixed. They certainly are. I want folks to understand. White folks out there, you know what I'm talking about. If a person's white and Asian, does the white community call them white? I want one for yes, two for no. We're going to play this game here. It's Monday. It was fun. One for yes, two for no. If my name was Andy Lee, right? Andy, a white name, Lee, an Asian name. One for yes, two for no. And I'm mixed. White and Asian. Does the white community accept that I'm white? One for yes, two for no. Very simple question. One for yes, two for no. If you're white and Asian, does the white community say that you're white? One for yes, two for no. I'm gonna go down the list. So remember your logic. I want you to remember your logic when we're going down this list. One for yes, two for no. Jerry Lewis, Matthew Steinacker, I want you to run with your logic. If I'm white and black, am I considered white? I want you to use logic because I know white folks out there. I'm very keen. I'm very smart. I know white folks. If the person is white and black, are they considered white? Oh, we get more twos. Right? Matthew Keller changed it to a 2. I know you would. I know you would. If they are Hispanic and white, are they white? I want folks to use common sense. My name is David Rodriguez. My daddy's a strong white male. My mama got a big caboose and she's Latina. Am I white? Some twos. Let's go. Let's keep going. If I'm white and let's say Eastern Indian, I'm Apu Indian. My daddy's Apu. My mama's Becky. My mama's Becky. Am I white? All sorts of twos. So white folks, in a sense, only accept white, right? Hey, your daddy's Norwegian, your mama's German. Gosh darn it, that's white. That's Caucasian. That's European, ain't it? Absolutely. So let's use common sense here, right? So these things that I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why we're getting all this. If you're white and Asian, let me tell you, Asians don't accept you as being Asian. If you're black and Asian, they don't accept you for being Asian. If you're Hispanic and Asian, weird mix, it's out there. They don't accept you, right? And if you're Hispanic and white, guess what? The Hispanics don't accept you. You're not pure Hispanic. Go ahead. You think I'm playing? Go ahead and ask the Latinos. They'll let you know. If you're white and Hispanic, they don't accept you. If you're black and Hispanic, they really don't accept you in. They really don't. Black folks are the only dumpster race out there, where somebody could be an half alien and half black, and an idiot out there say, hey, he black like, hold on, he black like, black like us. So I'm just pointing it out there. Just pointing it out there. Matthew Steiner said, my cousin looked white, so what? Yeah, he could look white. When he going write down on his application, what do he put? I bet you put down he a Negro. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet, Matthew? How much you want to bet? I don't know many mixed folks out there who are black and white who go and put white on an application. I don't know many at all. But I know many Hispanics and Latinos who do. Absolutely. Name be Mauricio, Pedro Martinez. Guys, he put it straight up white. So I just want to point this out here. When we get stuck on these type of things here, it's easy for somebody to finesse the game. I want people to understand. You got a person who is not even the same color as me speaking as if they're me. Like they have the same problems as me. They don't. They have their own problems. And when we start coupling these type of things together, we don't get anywhere. You make it more of a problem than anything, where anybody with, some drop of something can run and make a claim. It's outrageous. I want folks to understand now, this quote unquote racist display outside a police station, we don't know who put this out here. As you guys know, there's a lot of disgruntled people out right now because of the 76 days of hell brought on by BLM. A lot of them are upset and they're mad. Where you had racist chants all the way through America here, where they were burning down police stations, burning down people's businesses. So you're going to get a lot of people who are disgruntled with Black Lives Matter and black folks, period. Because black folks, a whole bunch of them, weren't moral, and they went with their emotion that was fed by the government and the liberal media. When I look at these displays that are put out here, I don't know if this is put out by a white person. A lot of the things that are going on right now are hoaxes. Some black person who wants to stoke a racial divide. I want people to understand that. So it blows my mind. White crime pays. Who puts that down? I don't even think the KKK and them will write anything like this. The KKK and those folks won't do any of this nature. This to me gotta be like Antifa or some liberal group. Black lives don't matter. That's what I believe it is. I don't believe it's anybody who's in those type of organizations, because those folks don't want to be put out like that. They don't want any government heat on them. Those militia racist folks, the KKK members, the Klan, they don't want none of this. As a matter of fact, the Klan is funding Democrats because the Klan know that Democrats are killing niggas more than they can. The Klan, right? Why would the Klan get out there and try to kill black folks when they can fund a gosh darn political movement out there that is tricking blacks into killing them own selves? Well, I mean, it makes no sense. If you're in the Klan now, instead of a hood and a sheet, you got a suit and a tie and a gosh darn mutual fund investor. That's your new KKK member. He's not going to get dirty trying to shoot you Negroes. He's going to go fund Planned Parenthood. He's going to fund whatever liberal organization that's making up a lie to get rid of you. That's what he's going to do. So this right here is just BS. Somebody took the time to put this out here. It's BS. They're not going to do it. Just like I pointed out that other video where some black children went into a high school in Los Angeles and wrote "All niggers should die" on the wall. Remember that? They were looking for somebody white. They went and checked the camera. They found 2 gosh darn black Sharpies. 2 black children, blackish Sharpies, writing on there. I don't know. They might have used their hand. That's how black they are. So these things happen all the time. And of course, you know, Jussie Smollett, right? He's the number one prime example of race hoaxes. So I just want to point that out there. This right here, I don't believe. I don't. Now, moving forward here, make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my guy, Robert Marvin. Robert Marvin took our $5 challenge on PayPal. Shout out to Robert Marvin. Shout out to you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Helping a brother out. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Next one up, I want to speak to you about a BLM protester that is on video getting rocked by a police officer. This happened in Pennsylvania. I want you guys to take a look at this. When it come back, I want to show you, I want to speak about this. These folks are so nasty and so evil. It's going to take strong people to stand up to get rid of these people. That's what it's going to take. Take a look.
Where are you all speaking at?
Right here! Right here! Yes, the fuck we are! It is our fucking right! It is freedom of, yes, it is our right! It is our right! It is our right! It is our right! Our freedom of speech, we can march and we can say what the fuck we want! Don't fucking point at me! Cock lives don't matter here! No peace! Fuck this racist ass police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! out of my kid's face, bro. Get out of my fucking kid's face, bro. Get out of my fucking kid's face, bro. Just like if you don't want to be touching me. No, you're not. I didn't touch you.
Man, I need a gosh darn dog like that. Sorry, Nova. I need me a canine.
Get your fucking hand behind your back.
Look at her.
You're hurting them. You're hurting them.
That sounds like a tranny. You see that? You hear that rough ass voice? Look, she could be a stand-in for Mr. McGruff. Let me tell you. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you guys think about this? Did you? I want you guys to take a look at this here. I don't know if you guys caught it, but I did. While that one nasty woman was being carted away. These are the black women in the community too. You see how the Black Lives Matter black women are so angry? Yeah, the black men who are raised by those women are angry as well. Absolutely. I don't make this stuff up. I want you guys to take a look at this. You see, this black woman is being carted away like the hyena she is. But look at this other black woman who is following her. Look at her bag. Book of Spells. Remember, we did a story not too long ago where we ran a clip and the head of BLM, it was 3 black, nasty, fat black women. And they were speaking about how they call on their ancestral spirits. Remember that? How they were going to do voodoo and witchcraft. I don't make this stuff up. You guys remember that? I went to the George Floyd Memorial, right? It's still there. When we went there, you guys remember what we seen there. You guys remember, right? I showed you. I live streamed it. You could probably go back and see it. We saw like these voodoo altars. We saw voodoo dolls, didn't we? Right? We saw a whole bunch of candles. We had basically a witchcraft altar, some sort of area set up to do some sort of black magic. At night, there were people there chanting. I kid you not, ladies and gentlemen, these people are very sick and evil. Sick and evil. These people are not of God. They are from the darkness. Everywhere they go, they are seen destroying, killing, and making sure, ladies and gentlemen, people's lives are hell. I want you to understand that. So that's why I stopped it here, because I was like, what the heck? She got a bag that says Book of Spells. People who are into black magic, right? You're into the occult. People who are into the occult. Usually they like to wear things that represent it, right? You'll see people walking around with pentagrams, right? You'll see people walking around with, things of this nature, book of spells, grimoires, just all sorts of things, pendants, amulets, right? They'll wear these things right in front of you. Some of these people will even tattoo sigils on their body. I've seen this myself, even walking out. Right? The normal individual doesn't know about, a sigil and the things behind it. But once you start, learning about the occult, what these people do, things of this nature, you'll be aware of the things that can happen when they do certain things. It's all a mind trick. It really is. So I wanted people to see this. These people are nasty, they're rude, and they don't care. They don't at all. We got some more folks in here. I want you guys to see it one more time. Look how nasty these people are. Nasty.
Where are you all? Where are you all speaking at?
Right here! Right here! Yes, the fuck we are! It is our fucking right! It is freedom of, yes, it is our right! It is our right! It is our right! It is our right! Our freedom of speech, we can march and we can say what the fuck we want! Don't talk and point at me! Cock lives don't matter here! No peace! Fuck this racist ass police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Fuck these racist ass police! No peace! Don't touch my kids. Get out of my kid's face, bro. Get out of my fucking kid's face, bro. Get out of my fucking kid's face, bro. Just like if you don't want to touch me. No, you're not. I didn't do shit.
I don't know. That could be a tranny, though. Or that's a BBW. One of those badly built women. One of the two. I think that's a tranny, though, with a hair hat. Yeah, and some fake breasts. Yeah, I think that, you know what? Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a guy with a hair hat on.
You're hurting them! You're hurting them!
Gosh darn it. Somebody got to go and call animal control for that bear over there. Rough ass voice. Yeah, you heard it, right? That is a tranny. Shout out to that is a tranny. That big ass thing there that looked like a BBW, one of them badly built women. Absolutely. That is a guy with a hair hat on. The gosh darn ugly woman with the rough ass voice. Yeah, she the one who pointed it out. She said, "You're hurting." Rough ass voice. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. Rough ass voice. Sound like King Cobra from G.I. Joe. You guys, if you've seen the cartoon G.I. Joe, right? And you know that guy King Cobra, Yeah, the guy that the boss that G.I. Joe always goes after, right? And he got his henchman, King Cobra. Yeah, let me tell you something. That woman right there sounds just like that. She should try out for G.I. Joe. She might have been a character voice. I'm telling you, that rough ass voice like that. Yeah, that's a rough ass voice. You hear that while you're sleeping, you might have a heart attack. Yeah, I mean, my goodness gracious. Let me go ahead and give some shout outs here. First shout out goes out to Kevin Clements, donated through our Cash App. Shout out to Kevin Clements. And I want to go ahead and give a shout out to John Lennon. Beautiful man. Straight out of YouTube. Shout out to you. Says, can't we all get along? Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, it does sound like that gosh darn wildebeest, smokes 2 packs a day. Black folks like to smoke Newports. Yep, Newport 100s. I gotta commend the city of Minneapolis though. They got rid of a lot of menthol cigarettes. No menthol cigarettes here in Hennepin County. And they're not to be sold in Minneapolis. Let me tell you something. Just by doing that, the Negroes that loiter in front of the store has dramatically reduced. Let me tell you. I don't have to fear walking into a store and there's a Negro outside asking me for a loose cigarette. Hey, man, you got a square? You got a square? Hey, man, you got a square? Right? I don't have to hear that anymore. Right? I don't. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. You want to stop Negroes from loitering in front of the store? Get rid of menthol cigarettes. Let me tell you. I mean, I don't make this stuff up. I don't. Moving forward, I want to speak to you guys about something crazy. Yeah, it's real crazy. 2 inmates at a New Jersey women's prison ended up pregnant following a consensual sexual encounter with another inmate who is transgender. Yeah. Who didn't know this would happen? Let me go ahead and run this when it come back. I want to get your take on this. You going to jail, just say that you identify as a woman. Beg for a hair hat. And then the world is yours. Take a look.
2 female inmates are pregnant after they had sex with another inmate at the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for Women in Clinton. That's the Department of Corrections. Last year, Edna Mahan began housing transgender inmates who identify as female. That's after a lawsuit filed by a trans woman who was forced to live in men's prisons. The DOC would not provide details on what actions they took in response to the pregnancies, but says they're taking measures to ensure the health and the safety of all inmates there.
Hilarious. Ain't that crazy? That is crazy. Shout out to Matthew Steinacker. Says, Jermaine, you sound like a... Yeah, I do. I have a straight voice. Absolutely, I do. The way that I talk to you guys is the way that I talk to everybody. Yep, absolutely. So when I'm talking to some brothers in the hood, I speak just like this. Absolutely. And let me tell you something. A lot of black folks think I'm police. Absolutely. Yeah, they do. I don't cock my hat to the side or any of that, right? I wear my hat straight. And then on top of that, I ranger roll my hat. Yeah, I do. I'm just like a white guy who got out of the army. I kid you, I live my life like that. I do. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Yeah, ain't that crazy? Hit that like button, make sure you share. I want to show you guys this. I want to show you guys the picture of the transgender inmate. Transitioning. This is the before and after. So before the inmate was moved into the women's prison, this is how the inmate looked. I want people to take a look at that. Because this inmate didn't want to be with the men in there, because this inmate probably knows that if you're in a men's prison, you're going to do a little bit more harder time. They decided they want to be a woman. It's easier to be a woman, especially in a female prison. Went and threw on a hair hat, grew out the hair, shaved, and bingo bango, right in a woman's prison. We have lost all common sense in our world when people are asking, how come we didn't see this coming? We are. As a matter of fact, whoever authorized this transition needs to be locked up and needs to be charged. Because if this inmate didn't impregnate a woman, this inmate could have easily killed many women. Sexually molested a lot of these women. There's a reason why men and women are separated everywhere you go. Because men and women can't keep their gosh darn hands off each other. Even in the workplace, right? They'll put down no fraternization. And guess what? People are fraternizing, right? Managers are screwing other managers. Employees are screwing other employees. This is what happens when men and women get together. I want folks to understand that. And when these people do something like this, they put women in harm's way. They certainly do, because there's guys out there who have a nefarious reason of why they want to transition. It's not because they feel like a woman. It's because it's easier to get to a lot of women. I want folks to understand that. So anybody who is encouraging this, who is putting out legislation for this, who thinks it's not wrong, they are the problem. They certainly are. It could have came back that these women were molested. They could have been raped. So this is a very, very big deal. And once more again, this is on the laps of a lot of women. Because if majority of women stood up and say, hey, we don't want this crap, none of this would go down. But because most women are the first ones up to accept evil, right? Jermaine, I can't believe you said that. Absolutely, I said it, I'll double down. Look at the Garden of Eden. Do we have to speak about Eve? Do we have to speak about what people are calling Adam's first wife? Right? Lilith. That a lot of people talk about, right? Didn't like Adam, didn't want to submit, ran. And then the second woman came and she didn't want to submit either. Right? I love women. Hard-headed, stubborn, but man, I love women, let me tell you. So that's what it is. Women have to stand up. They have to think with their noggin. Because had they have been thinking with their noggin, they wouldn't be finessed by somebody who is confused trying to be a woman. Women have given up their sovereignty, their human right to be a woman because of emotion. And I want women to think about that, because right now you're clawing your way to try to be a woman now. Some idiot out there with a hair hat and a skirt can claim that they're a woman too. One thing they're not doing, women, is claiming that they're a real man. Right? They know it won't go over well with most men. I want women to ask themselves that. There's a campaign out there that says trans women are real women. Where is the campaign for trans men are real men? Where's that campaign, women? Simple question. Where's that campaign at? Where is it? Where's the men complaining that women are infringing on their gender? You don't see it. And there's a specific reason why. There is. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys do me a favor. Hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Help a brother out. I'm going to need your help. I'm definitely going to need your help. Leo Terrell had a fantastic segment on Fox News. Says the Democrats are soft on crime policies, and it will lead to the destruction of America. I want you guys to take a look at this. When they come back, I want to speak about it. Make sure you guys share. Here we go.
The scales right now are tipped very heavily in favor of the reforms of the progressive left. Well-intended, some needed, but tipped too far. And what we have as a result is this growing fear of crime, this growing actual amount of crime, as evidenced in almost every major American city.
So there's Bratton talking about the crime wave across the country. Again, he ran the New York Police Department here in the 90s, saying courts were well intended but went too far. Here you go. In New York now, shootings are up more than 8% from a year ago. Assaults 19, burglary 31, hate crimes about 41%. Leo Terrell, Fox News contributor, civil rights attorney. Leo, good morning to you there in Los Angeles. Now, the mayor was asked about Bill Bratton's comments, and he said this on ABC Sunday.
Major mistakes made throughout the years that destroyed the trust that the police commissioner is talking about. We have to rebuild that trust, but we can't rebuild that trust by allowing those who are dangerous and that have a repeated history of violence to continue to be on our streets.
That's a reference to the revolving door of justice, something that he referenced with Dana and me when he did his interview last week here in America's Newsroom. How do you see it, Leo? Bratton's comments with Mayor Adams.
I saw your interview with the mayor last week. Bill, tell the American public something that we don't know already. Ever since the George Floyd death, there has been a criminal holiday in Democratic cities. We know what the problem is. The mayor is telling us what we already know. We know what the problem is. Career criminals are allowed to roam the streets. And basically, they're not put away. And the mayor can make the rounds on television all day, Bill. The problem is he has to call out the soft prosecutors. So until he calls out his Democratic colleagues, this is just going to happen over and over again. And you can expect a summer of crime. The honeymoon period is over for Mayor Adams. Do something.
Well, the police commissioner, Keechan Sewell, also took part in that interview on ABC. She said, we cannot lose sight of the victims of crime. We've kind of done that, haven't we, Leo?
Yeah, Bill, every week your program shows the various crimes that are going on in Democratic cities, in Chicago, in New York. Tucker Carlson's doing an expose on the city that I live in, LA. It's a pattern. Democratic cities and mayors and prosecutors are soft on crime. We know this. And for Mayor Adams or the commissioner to tell us what we already know, they're not helping us. They're pretending to think that they're working on the problem. They're not. I mean, this is so obvious.
Yeah, let me just go back to what Keechan Sewell said. I like her. I like what she's saying. I have from the beginning. I think she's rather impressive. She says, we believe the system has to be fair and balanced, but when we lose sight of the victims of crime, we're not doing what public safety is intended to do. She's spot on, Leo.
Bill, nice words. Nice words. But I can guarantee you, I'll make a prediction. Next week, you and Dana are going to cover crime in New York City over the weekend and Chicago. Beautiful words, but Alvin Bragg, George Gascon, soft prosecutor. You don't hear her criticizing the prosecutor. Until that happens, forget it, it's going to happen. And we're going to expect a summer crime wave like the Portland sheriff officer said. It's going to happen. It's been going on, Bill, for 2.5 years. When will it stop?
Okay, we'll watch her words carefully. So too the mayor here. That Portland sheriff, actually a sheriff in Oregon outside the city of Portland released this letter. It said, we need to act with a sense of urgency. Summer's approaching, a time when we typically experience increased violence in our community. Without action, we can expect worse to come. I mean, that's what you just said, Leo. Portland crime statistics, here they are, right? Assaults up 9.5, homicides 18, robberies 36, and sex offenses up more than 4%, Leo.
Bill, remember Portland? Remember the summer of 2020? Remember the attack on the federal building? Trump tried to offer that city help and support. They turned it down. They let the criminals control the streets. So we've been playing this song for almost 3 years, and nothing has changed. It's more talk, and then you couple with the southern border, that Portland sheriff is talking about the drugs that are also infiltrating Democratic cities because crime is tolerated, Bill.
Leo, thank you. Summer's up soon. We know that. Leo, thank you in Los Angeles today. Nice to see you. Thanks for.
Shout out to Leo 2.0. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you got to think about what he said here? Crime is up everywhere you look because of Democratic policies. In Portland, crime up 18.5%. In homicides, robberies 33.6%. National average when it comes to homicides, 37.4% nationally. We are in a very dire situation when it comes to safety for the American citizen. Ideology is being used over common sense and facts. We know to keep people safe, we have to lock folks up. Democrat ideology says different. And these people here, ladies and gentlemen, don't care about what's real. They care about their own vision and lining their pockets up with cashola. That's it. A lot of what we're seeing is by design. Don't let these people try to fool you. It's by design. The inflation, the influx of immigrants in this country, through the roof. Close to 1,000 immigrants are entering our border a day. Close to 1,000. That's a lot of folks, ladies and gentlemen. So we have to be tough on crime, especially when it comes down to violent crime. We have to. Leo Terrell is absolutely correct in his assessment here. New York, a lot of these major cities are Democrat-filled, and they're following ideology. Mayor Eric Adams speaks about supporting the police, but in his latest budget, he cut money from the police. So I want you guys to know, these people are about ideology. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. We definitely gonna need your help. Definitely. Ron DeSantis is making some more noise. He just signed a 15-week abortion ban. A lot of states are following suit. I want you guys to take a look at this. When it come back, we'll speak about it. Here we go.
A wave of new anti-abortion laws hitting 4 states this week. Florida is the latest after Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signed into law a bill that bans the procedure after 15 weeks of pregnancy. That's without any exemptions for rape or incest. CNN's Nadia Romero is here with more on all this. Nadia.
Well, Fred, I mean, when we look at all of these states that are following this trend, it really sparked with 2 states, Texas and Mississippi. Mississippi back in 2018 that passed their 15-week abortion ban. Now that case is before the Supreme Court. Then it was Texas back in September with their 6-week abortion ban that many call the heartbeat bill, and that went into effect in September. Since then, Republican-led controlled legislatures all over the country have been passing these restrictive abortion bans. And we saw Florida and Oklahoma adding themselves to that growing list just this week.
No peace.
Using their voices and risking their freedoms.
No justice, no peace.
Caitlin Danahy-Samitz and Sarah Parker lead Women's Voices of Southwest Florida, a nonprofit organized to defend reproductive freedoms.
We have to speak up.
The group helped raise awareness when the Manatee County Board of Commissioners discussed the possibility of introducing an abortion ban.
Well, I had to sit down. I cried. We had put so many hours and so much time in that.
I cried.
But their message was not loud enough to drown out the will of Florida's legislature and the governor.
It makes me angry and it makes me sad and it makes me worried. It feels like we're going backwards.
This week, Governor Ron DeSantis signing a 15-week abortion ban into law.
There you go.
Without exemptions for rape, incest, or human trafficking.
This will represent the most significant protections for life that have been enacted in this state in a generation.
2 days before DeSantis, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signed a bill that makes performing an abortion a felony, except in the case of a medical emergency.
We want Oklahoma to be the most pro-life state in the country. We want to outlaw abortion in the state of Oklahoma.
And also this week, Kentucky's GOP-led legislature overrode the governor's veto of a bill that bans most abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. So far, 18 states have introduced legislation banning or limiting access to most abortions. 14 states have passed their restrictive legislation. 3 states so far this year, Kentucky, Florida, and Arizona, following a 2018 Mississippi law prohibiting abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy.
Now let's go and sign these bills.
Now, some Democratic-controlled legislatures aim to protect the rights of Roe v. Wade with new bills of their own. Maryland lawmakers expanding access to abortion.
We are preparing for some of the most restrictive abortion actions that we've seen in a generation.
In Michigan, Governor Gretchen Whitmer filing a lawsuit to challenge the state's almost 100-year-old abortion ban, even though it's not enforceable due to Roe v. Wade.
We've got to take this current assault on women's rights seriously and use every tool we have to fight back. This is not just a theoretical risk. This is a real and present danger.
With many states rewriting their abortion laws, all eyes point to the Supreme Court. The court heard arguments on the Mississippi law back in December. Legal experts argue a decision could be handed down in June, right before summer break, with pro-abortion activists continuing their fight to the highest court in the land.
Maybe they will come back and say and stand behind Roe versus Wade. I hope that they do, and I want to believe so.
So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis also signed another bill into law that provides aid for mentorship and educational programs for fathers in Florida. It also comes with $70 million for youth and family support services. But really, Fred, that's a sidebar to this 15-week abortion ban that the governor signed. And we're seeing a legal contestation all across the country with different groups like the ACLU battling against these legislatures as they push forward with these abortion
Look at the ACLU.
All right,
That's
so
an evil organization. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you got to think about this? Ron DeSantis out there saving babies. I like it. I certainly do. I wish that Republicans cared about children out of the womb. Yeah, I do. Right? Republicans care about the child inside of the womb. But when the child is outside of the womb, the child don't get a chance to have what we call a traditional family. Man, woman, children. They're robbed, they're stripped from that. So I want Republicans to understand something here. While you're fighting for the children inside the womb, the children that you never see, I want the Republicans to use common sense. The children who are being stripped away from their fathers every day. The ones that are being born to single mamas in this new age, right? Because there's a culture of single mothers out there who don't want to get married, who know that if they don't get married and they have a child, that child is theirs, right? The child grows up without the best start possible. I want you Republicans out there to think about that. While you at home sitting there, me, millions of us who have been raised with our mama and daddy at home, and we know how much of a benefit that is. We're doing the children out of the womb a disservice when you're only caring about the children in the womb. Because once they come out, where's the Republican then? Where is it? Where's the Republican then? I can tell you, trying to limit the social programs coming out, right? And nowhere to be seen. That's the Republican. The Republican and Republicans need to wake up to the fact of this. I understand you care about the children in the womb, but do you give a rip about the children outside of the womb? Because the children outside the womb are already here. Republicans have to give a rip about the children outside of the womb. Because the children outside of the womb are being stolen from us by the liberal Democrats and the culture. Most of the time when children are being born in our society, they're being born to a single woman who is hand in hand in league with the Democrats. The men who have children with these women have no, and I want the Republicans to no say so. They have no right. The only right they have is a financial responsibility that is being placed upon them by the government. I want Republicans to understand. If you care about children, you care about their life and how they grow up, you will care about them outside of the womb. You would care that they grow up in a good home, primarily by a mama and daddy. Because caring about the children in the womb ain't going to get us that far. When the children outside of the womb are having shitty lives and shitty families. The Democrats are investing in single families. Single mamas. They know single mamas is their bread and butter. More single mamas you have, more Democrats you have. Why do you think Joe Biden and them folks care about single mamas? That's all you hear them speak about. They don't care. They never say nothing about married women. They could give a rip about you. You don't bring them any bread. But single mamas and children, they do. Democrats care about this nationally because butchering babies bring them money. Right? Butchering babies bring them money. It's a cash cow for them. So that's why they care about it. They could give a rip about the children. They could give a rip about women. All they got to do is have some dumb woman up there and appear to care, right? Appear to say, this is all about women's rights. And there's some woman out there who is brain dead who will believe it. I'm letting you guys know. That's how crazy it is. So if you care about the children in the womb, you're clapping, it's all fine and dandy, right? I hope you care about the children outside of the womb. Because the children outside of the womb need to be protected as well. They need to have a good start as well, not just with their mama. So I want to point that out there. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you do share. Because all the time you'll have conservatives get real righteous with this. Right? Real moral, real righteous. But then when you speak about the children outside of the womb, you ain't real moral there. You ain't real righteous there. You really don't give a rip then. And I have an issue with that. I certainly do. I have issue with conservatives caring about the children in the womb, but no legislation, no action for the children suffering outside of the womb. No child should need to be born to a society like this where they only are in the custody of their mother by design. If you've been in prison, if you work with inmates before, 90% of the inmates in there come from single mothers. Over 90. I want folks to understand that. So the things we talk about are real. They're not in your feelings. And we need people to actually give a rip about the children, not just the ones in the womb. That's it. Let's go ahead and move forward. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. And no other conservatives saying this. So it should let you know they following the same thought process out there. They're like copycat conservatives, right? I bet you ain't never heard this talk anywhere else, huh? How much you want to bet? Things we talk about on this show, you don't hear on other shows because they don't want to speak about social issues that affect everybody. Conservatives are lacking in it. Absolutely. You care about children inside of the womb, gosh darn it, give a rip about them when they come out. Let's go ahead and move forward. Joe Biden, I want to show you a crazy clip of him. He's an idiot, and let me tell you, I want to show you how crazy he is. Joe Biden appears to shake hands in the air. His latest gaffe is his latest misstep. I want you to take a look. Here we go.
Congress needs to get this bill to my desk as quickly as possible. Our economic strength is on the line, and national security as well is on the line. Companies are ready to invest in America, in American communities, and American workers. But they need to see that their government is capable of investing in our future. Other countries are racing ahead, but we can't afford to wait. So Congress, get this bipartisan bill to my desk. Facilities that make high quality furniture. Above all,
look at him. Doesn't even know where he's walking. Wow, and I'm going to stop it right there. So Joe Biden, he don't even know where he's walking. He doesn't know where he's going half the time. Just got up and shook hands in the air. Didn't even know where he was. That's Joe Biden. His poll numbers are super low. He can't even get reelected with it. So I understand why the Democrats are now shifting away from him. They know Joe is a flop. They know it. And you know what's a flop? The Biden mask mandate, baby. Absolutely. A federal judge voids it today. Take a look.
Well, tonight we've got some breaking news. For the first time in more than a year, the travel mask mandate is not in effect. That means that the TSA will not enforce the rule at airports and other transportation hubs. Now, the news comes after a federal judge in Florida today ruled that the CDC exceeded its authority and failed to follow proper rulemaking. The question now is whether the federal government will appeal that judge's decision. Also, the Association of Flight Attendants is weighing in tonight, urging calm from passengers, saying it usually takes 24 to 48 hours to implement new procedures. Now, the CDC still recommends masks for all travelers. Now, all this comes as COVID-19 cases are once again on the rise, driven by the BA2 subvariant. CBS's Nikki Batiste is going to start us off from Philadelphia, where an indoor mask mandate was just reinstated. There's a lot to get to. Good evening, Nikki.
Nora, good evening. We are just getting clarity from the administration about that judge's ruling today, saying they are reviewing the judge's order, but that for now, the TSA will not enforce the mask mandate on public transportation. Adding to all of this confusion, as you mentioned, there is a new mask mandate here in Philadelphia that took effect today. That means about 20,000 fans at this 76ers game tonight will once again have to mask up. You can now fly or ride the buses and trains mask-free. The move comes just hours after a federal judge in Florida ruled it was unlawful. Today, a U.S. district judge said the court accepts the CDC's argument that masks will limit COVID-19 transmission, but that alone was not sufficient to exceed the agency's authority. Infectious disease specialist Dr. Celine Gounder says it's still too soon.
We don't know how the BA2 variant is going to play out across the country. As of right now, my advice as a physician to anybody traveling on a plane would be to continue wearing a mask when you're traveling on public transportation, including on an airplane.
Meanwhile, Philadelphia is the only U.S. city bringing back indoor masks as a precaution. There has been a 67% increase in COVID cases in the last 10 days. That's an average of over 200 COVID cases per day.
I think it's a mistake.
Philadelphia restaurant owner Yehuda Seychelle is concerned the revived mandate will hurt business again.
When masks were mandated, people are less inclined to go out to the city specifically. You know, the city, there's a lot of people that live in the city, but really the city thrives off people coming from the suburbs.
A group of 22 business owners and residents is suing the city, seeking to overturn the mask mandate.
Philadelphia actually did away with the CDC guidelines as a standard, and they've invented their own guidelines. They're making this stuff up.
In response to the lawsuit, the city says it has the legal authority.
The role of the CDC is really to provide minimum guidelines in terms of what is safe. So a city like Philadelphia can decide to be more aggressive about what they require, and other places might choose not to be so aggressive.
It is unclear whether airlines will now implement their own mask rules, but the majority of airlines have been asking to drop the mask requirement. And to reiterate what you said, Nora, the CDC is still recommending wearing a mask on public transportation. Nora.
Nikki Batiste with all that news. Thank you.
Man, oh man. So we can see that these mask mandates are being used as a tool of control. Some cities are still trying to keep it because, you know, it keeps everybody in line. But as of right now, if you're taking a plane, any mass transit, you don't have to wear a mask. It's been shut down. So I think that is very, very good. Let's go ahead and give them one of these. Thank the Lord. Absolutely. Thank the Lord. It was unconstitutional, and it's about time that somebody called it for what it is. Absolutely. It is beautiful. Beautiful. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Last but not least, former Twitter CEO speaks about the company's board amid billionaire Elon Musk, what they call a hostile takeover. Take a look. Here we go.
Well, the former CEO of Twitter has publicly criticized the company's board as it evaluates a takeover bid from billionaire Elon Musk. On Sunday, Jack Dorsey responded to a Twitter user describing the, quote, plots and coups that played out in the early history of Twitter's board by saying, quote, it has consistently been the dysfunction of the company. Dorsey is still a member of the board but plans to leave once his term expires in May. Musk tweeted Saturday the Twitter board, quote, collectively owns almost no shares, with Dorsey departing. He also said the board's economic interests do not align with those of shareholders. The Tesla and SpaceX CEO offered to buy Twitter for $43 billion last week. CBS News tech reporter Dan Patterson joins us now for more on this. Dan, great to see you. You get updated on what's going on with the Elon Musk Twitter board saga. We know that the board employed something that's known as a poison pill, right? Explain what that means and why that, at the very least, is, holding things off for a little bit.
Yeah, good to see you too, Tanya. Another twist in this saga. So this poison pill, as described, is really just a dilution of stock, or a proposed dilution of stock. So the way it would work is the board would say if any one shareholder met a 15% threshold, then they would approve other shareholders to buy Twitter stock at a reduced price. This would effectively dilute Twitter stock, and it would reduce the amount that the person who was trying to hostilely take over the company owned. It would reduce their percentage of ownership.
But do we know if there are any other serious suitors out there?
Well, no one as overt as Elon Musk, but we do know that one of the options, one of the things that Twitter has been looking into are potential either co-funders, other companies to come in and fund Twitter, or just take them over to fund the company themselves.
It's all very complicated. It's almost like an episode of Game of Thrones, right? But I want to ask you about Dorsey's expected departure from the board in May. How is that expected to affect what the board does and what Musk does?
Well, look, he won't have as direct of an influence as he does now or did in the past, but we know that Dorsey and Musk are kind of frenemies and that he has indirect influence over Twitter, not just the board and not just the company, but the entire culture of Twitter's management. Dorsey plays a pretty big role.
Right. Okay, so we know that Elon Musk has threatened to take his offer straight to the shareholders, right? Over the head of the board and go straight to the shareholders. Can he do that? Number one. And number two, if the shareholders say, hey, yeah, actually, I want a big payout now, let's go with this, is the board powerless to stop that from happening?
No, the board is not powerless, but look, Elon can say he wants to do this, but he's not as liquid as he pretends to be. In fact, over the weekend, I spoke to a couple people who said that he would have to sell about 5% of Tesla in order to get the cash he needs. That would be a pretty big sacrifice on his end. He could partner with some other capital firms to fund this, but it's not as direct as he makes it out to be. Twitter has a bunch of options. Look, they could negotiate with him. They could open their books and say, hey, let's find a better price. They could dilute it, like we talked about earlier, and they could simply find other funding partners and just change the finances.
It's interesting, that point about him not being as liquid as he wants everybody to believe. So, of course, it sounds like a game of poker or something, right? Like, who's bluffing here, right? When's everyone going to show their cards?
Well, that's definitely the game that Elon plays. Nothing he does is direct, and we should take everything he does and says, even this takeover or potential takeover of Twitter, with a grain of salt.
Fascinating stuff, and I know we're going to keep checking in with you with each latest development. So thank you so much, Dan Patterson, for that.
Good to see you.
There you go. So that's what it is. Elon Musk right now is playing the game. I don't trust Elon Musk. What can I say? I like using common sense. Elon Musk, I've never heard him come out and say that he wants to restore free speech. I've never heard him, come out and stand up for conservative principles. He hasn't been very vocal on this end. The fact that he wants to buy Twitter doesn't mean anything to me. Buying Twitter, in a sense, gives Elon Musk a lot of information. Absolutely. When you buy a program like that, app like that, you know what you're getting, right? You're getting people's information. Yeah. He'll have all your information. And he can decide whatever he wants to do with it. Your emails, your bank account, everything. The man hasn't said, I want to buy Twitter because I want to restore free speech. This man hasn't said it. I'm still in, amazed by how many folks are saying this, but yet I haven't heard them saying of this. Can somebody out there point me to a video or something that Elon Musk is saying, hey, I want to restore free speech. I'm buying Twitter to restore free speech. I'm purely asking a question because I've never seen it. So there's a lot of, in my personal opinion, a lot of speculation going on. And is the speculation even warranted? Yeah, I'm just wondering, is the speculation even warranted? Has the man said that, hey, I want to save free speech? I just want to know. Ron Baker said another snake in the grass. I haven't seen it, so I don't know why. Jesse Kohler says he had. Jesse, can you link me to something that he says that he wants to restore free speech? Can you link me something that says that Elon Musk is talking and he says, I want to restore free speech. I want to buy Twitter and make sure that everybody can say what it needs to be said. I want to go ahead and fight the system. Is he saying any of this nature? Is he backing conservative principles? I'm asking anybody out there. It's a simple question. I know conservatives don't like these questions because it tugs on their feelings, right? I understand that. I'm just asking a simple question. Anybody out there? Nobody's even, so it leads me to believe that he hasn't said this because nobody else is saying this except for you, Jesse. So if you can send me something that he's saying these things, then I will retract my statement of me not hearing that he's supporting these freedom principles. He's out there fighting. That's all I'm asking. All right, yeah. So if you have it out there, because it seemed like not too many people are telling me that he said this, which leads me to believe, right? It's very logical that he hasn't said this, right? That people are just speculating, and I don't like to go off speculation. And I've been in the news. I've listened to a lot of story over the year. I haven't heard Elon Musk come out and say, you know what, I'm for supporting Trump. I'm for supporting these principles here, these free economic principles. I'm for this. I haven't heard him say any of these things. Haven't at all. So I'm just asking somebody out there, if you can't send it to me, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Absolutely. Jessica, does he say it, or do I, or am I just wasting my time going through the whole thing? Don't send me a clip and then it's a hour-long clip and I have to fish through it. Send me the specific part where he's talking about I'm supporting of free speech, all these platforms need to be free. I want that part. I want folks to be very specific. Don't send me something where it's an hour-long talk and then I have to go through it because I'm too lazy. I'm black. My lips are big. My eyes are big. I don't have that much time. So clip it for me so that I can see it, so that I know. All right? That's what it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody and their mama's mama for coming out, hanging out with us. Absolutely. I'll be on tomorrow with our good friend, Mr. Minor Jamal. So, we going to definitely get it in. So, make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you share. Make sure you come and hang out with us. I want to thank everybody who did their due diligence tonight. I also want to thank everybody who donated as well. I really do appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Absolutely do. So that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is our show. I want to thank you all for coming out, hanging out with us. And I'll see you guys here tomorrow with another edition of Conservative Nation. Guys, take care and